Hi everyone, hope you all are doing well. Welcome to the channel. Recently, CAT result is declared. A lot of colleges have started giving their shortlist, and now it's time for the MBA aspirants who plan to do MBA from 2024 to 2026. So start preparing for the next stages of the MBA admission. And these stages generally involve preparing for the interview, preparing for the group discussion, and other things like, for example, VAT. And so different colleges have different way of doing selection after the CAT, but generally it's your CAT score which is combined with the interview score and some other factors like 10th, 12th, and undergraduation marks, and some diversity score that is combined, which is converted into an aggregate score, which is finally taken into consideration while creating a merit list for any college. So yeah, if you see in the entire process, I mean, you've done really good in CAT, you've got shortlist that actually says that you've got good score in CAT. Now it's time to prepare for the personal interview, which is the next most important contributor in the final selection. If you look at any of the college final selection criteria, you'll find that personal interview carries the most weightage there. So what we'll try to do in this video and maybe in the coming videos as well, we'll try to understand how can we really do well in the personal interview. I'll try to share my experiences just to give you my introduction. First of all, I am Abdul Pagmode. I am a MBA graduate from Ahmedabad. I got 99.44 percentile in CAT 2019. I had received calls from almost every IIM that time. I've appeared for CAP, I've appeared for the Blackie interviews, I've appeared for the FMS interview. This time there was no FMS interview, but I've appeared for the SPGen profile based interview, and I've got admission from almost each of the college that I've applied into for. So I'll try to share the learnings that I have from my interview that time, how I prepared. And I did not take any help from any coaching institute at the time. I prepared on my own along with my job because I was working as a full-time consultant in PwC that time. And I managed to prepare interview along with my job. So I'll try to share that perspective that most of the people might not have, because all of them might have taken help of the coaching institute and all. But I'll try to share my perspective where I'll share how I have prepared until now, using my own study methodologies or doing my own research on how exactly interviews are conducted and all that. So I'll try to share those experiences as well down the line. So I'll be creating a series of videos in the coming weeks, for the next month or so, where you can get to listen all the experiences of different interviews. At the same time, you'll get to understand what were challenges that I faced and all that. So yeah, for the today's video, I'll just tell you four important things that you need to focus on if you're preparing for the personal interview. How should you prepare for that? Okay, so first, I think when you're going for an interview, you need to be very clear and have a thorough understanding about yourself. And by yourself, I mean you need to understand your profile really well. Your profile is not just about where have you done education, what is your undergraduation score and all that. It is not just about that. It is a lot beyond that. It starts with something as basic as your name. For example, my name is Avdut. What is the meaning of that? Why my surname is Wagmode? What is the meaning for that? Where I am born from. I'm born from this particular city or particular village. What is the historic significance of that particular city? I've done education from this particular city. Let's say I've done education from Guwahati. What is the significance of that city? Do I know current affairs regarding that city? Because I might be asked questions about that anytime. Then about my a lot of other aspects. Like I've done schooling from somewhere else. I should know about that. I should know about my school. I should know about my undergraduation college. I should know about any post graduation college in case I've done that. I should be well aware about all the extracurricular activities I've done across my studies. For example, I was part of certain club in my undergraduation. I should know about it, why I decided to be part of that. What was my motive? How did it help me grow? How did it help me learn some new things and all? I should be aware of that. Some basic things I should be clear. Like for example, why I chose this particular undergraduation stream, why I chose this particular job. So for every step in your life, till the time from the time you're born till the time you're applying for the personal interview, you should be aware about every decision you've made, and you should have a rationale behind it. So make sure you think about every step, and create some reason, some story behind it. You should try to create a story on a situation that you are into. What is the task that you did at that time, and what is the result that you've seen because of that? So create a story around every step in your profile, your journey from your birth till now. Try to dig as much as you can. Will not require a lot of time. This is something that you don't need to sit on a table, take a pen and paper and do it. You can think about this even you're traveling, you're eating, you're doing something else. You can think about this, and it doesn't require a lot of dedicated time, like sitting and studying kind of thing. So make sure you're aware about everything. This is most important thing, is know about your profile. Along with profile, there comes HRQs. Now, what are HRQs? HRQs is basically making, when you're aware about yourself, HRQs are something that you are supposed to Justify your decisions. For example, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Why you want to do MBA? Why you want to do MBA despite having engineering background? I mean, a one typical questions engineers can expect is like, you have spent 4 years into engineering. You've done education from some good university or good college. You've used government's money to do the engineering education. Now, why do you want to get into MBA? Because how will you use the engineering knowledge into the MBA education or a career after MBA? So expect these kind of questions. This question was asked to me in the Lucknow interview. I think my Lucknow interview was the shortest interview, only 5 minutes interview, and the only question they asked is like, how do you want to, why do you want to do MBA after engineering, and how do you think this engineering knowledge will help you do a better MBA? So prepare about this HRQs, prepare about things like, how do you see yourself 10 years down the line? Tell me something, some really tough situation in your life where you actually came out of your comfort zone and uh, did something that was really remarkable and all that. So expect these kind of questions in the interview as well. So the part one is obviously make sure you are well aware about your profile, and you have good solution to all the HRQs. Think about all the possible HRQs. Go on the internet, search about what are the possible HRQs that can be asked in the interview. And obviously, in the coming videos, when I'll be talking about each of the section in detail, I'll be covering up in detail. What are the HRQs that you should think about. So make sure you have that very good stories created around each of the situation and HRQs as well. Now coming to a second point. Second point is you have to know about academics. Now it might sound like academics. What up? Should I go back and really study my all the 4 years of engineering, or should I study about all the 3 years that I've spent into my undergraduation like BBA, BCom, or all that? Yeah, you're expected to know the basics of your undergraduation as well. No, you're not supposed to know everything. Like for example, for somebody who has done engineering, he's or she is not supposed to solve the basic fundamental question that was asked in the third year of paper and all that. No, you don't need to go to that detail, but you should know basic details about your engineering or basic details about your undergraduation studies. For example, you're a mechanical engineer, you should know about basic things like how heat engine works, what is Carnot cycle. You should know about the basic problems in mechanics. If you're an undergraduate in finance, you should know about what is NPV, IRR, what is financial modeling, how does it happen. Even if you're not able to develop the financial model, you should know at basic level key what is the idea behind it, what is financial viability study and all that. If you're coming from some different industry, you should know basics about the industry. If you're coming from economics, you should know about basics of macro and microeconomics. You should have a clarity about the concepts that are taught in the undergraduation studies. So know about the basics of academics. Now it can take a significant time basis the depth at which you want to go, but ideally I'll say spend a week, not more than a week, to get clarity about what you want to. So know about your academics really well. That should be a second thing. Third important thing is know about your work experience. Now if you're an experienced candidate, expect that a lot of questions that will be asked will be from your work experience. So wherever you're working, be it IT industry, consulting industry, analytics industry, or a manufacturing industry, or even media industry, or whatever it is, you will expect a questions around that industry for sure. So what you need to know first, you need to know about your industry. I mean, wherever you're working, you should know about industry trends, how it has grown in the past, what are your future projections, what are the recent developments and happenings in the industry at a national level, at an international level. You should be well aware of the facts there. That is one. Second is obviously how to know about your company. I mean, let's say you're working into a big automobile company in India. Let's say you're working at Mahindra and Mahindra. You should know about what is happening inside Mahindra and Mahindra. Who is the CEO? What has been the company's growth? How is company doing compared to the competitors? Who are the major competitors? How do you see this company going forward? What are the aspirations of a company, and what are the initiatives taken by company to make sure they achieve the aspirations and all. So you should know basic details about your company and all that. uh, Obviously things like revenue growth, these numbers you should remember on your tips. So these are the basic things you should know about your company. And third and the most important thing in the experience is you should know about your role. Whatever you're doing in the company, you should be well versed with stating what is the impact you have done in the company, what is the role, where does it lie in the entire value chain of the industry. For example, you're again into automobile industry. If I talk about automobile industry, it starts from something like basic as like procurement of input materials, then creating spare parts. They come from different legs of industry, and then at the end they come to assembly company where all the parts are assembled, and then they made into a product which can be sold to a customer. Then they go to dealers, and then they are sold from there through marketing. There is marketing, there is sales involved into that, and then it is sold to the customer. And then there is a after sales service. So there are various stages of this entire value chain of automobile industry. You should be well aware about where do you lie in the entire value chain. What is your contribution? why your role is very important, and what have you learned during this period. How have you grown? What is something that you've done out of the box in your role, so that that has helped company remove certain bottlenecks, or maybe grow slightly beyond what they had projected. So you should be aware about the impact you've done. These are the basic things. I mean, so three things: industry, your company, and your role. These are the basic things you should know about work experience. Now, this is the third thing. Now, coming to the fourth and most important thing is again current affairs. Now, whichever background you come from, whichever degree you come from, understanding about current affairs is most important. You should be well aware about happenings around you. This can be national or international. Something like, as basic as one of the biggest headlines that is coming nowadays is like diplomatic row happening between India and Maldives over the PM's visit to Lakshadweep. So you should have your opinion around it. Now it's okay to create your own opinion basis the facts, but ideally I'll suggest that go on YouTube. There are a lot of channels who speak around uh, IAS preparation. They analyze the daily newspaper, The Hindu, and they create videos on it. So watch that. Spend half an hour every day on watching these YouTube videos on The Hindu newspaper analysis. Probably you will get a good understanding of uh, good analysis and good understanding of current happenings around you. So basically what they do in the video is they prioritize all the news. They understand which news are important, which news are not very important, and accordingly they create an analysis around it. They help you develop opinion on the basis of opinions given by different experts. So ideally you should watch this news and create your opinion basis that. So that these are four important things you have to focus on. I'll create a detailed video on each of them in coming weeks or so. But please, till then, focus on these 4 points. Start preparation, and certainly, believe me, interview is the most important phase in the MBA selection. Whatever your CAT percentile has been, it is going to be insignificant if you're not done good in interview. And the reverse is also possible. If your CAT percentile is very low and you think you're a border case in getting selected for an interview, believe me, if you do really good in the interview, and if panel likes you, no one can deny a seat for you in the B school. So interview is the most important step in the entire selection of MBA. So pay attention to that, prepare really well, and I wish you all the best. Thank you so much. Keep tuned and subscribe to the channel.